Hi, I'm Kirk Whalum, and you're watching Elements of Jazz TV.
Elements of Jazz, your visual jazz experience.
You want to hear the incredible music of one of the greatest saxophone players in the business today. And of course, we're talking about Kirk Whalum. Hey, listen, Kirk is touring this summer. It's got a lot of gigs coming up too in our area we want you to know about. He'll be at South Coast Winery on Friday, July 20th, and then at the Long Beach Jazz Festival in August. And part of his set these days are going to be songs from his latest release. How many of you have heard Romance Language? Please put your hands together and give a warm, warm welcome to our friend and a very, very fine saxophone player, Kirk Whalum.
I'm back home in Pasadena today. I'm always excited to be back home. We lived here for 10 years, raised our kids here, pretty much, and then we moved to Nashville and then eventually back home to Memphis. But it was a wonderful 10 years. We just love Pasadena. I'm originally from a music town called Memphis, Tennessee. We call it Soulsville, and it impacted my music and is still impacting my music profoundly, because there were all the elements at the root system of the tree that we call jazz and pop and R&B, and all the music started, really down south. Growing up in Memphis, we all wanted to be in bands. There was the Bar-Kays and the Booker T and MGs and all that, Stax Records, So, and growing up in church as well, So the whole thing in Memphis, today when you hear my music, you hear Memphis. My father was a pastor of Olivet Baptist Church in Memphis, and so the first musical experience I had was playing Amazing Grace at church, and it was the first song I learned. It was like the first week I got an instrument, which, by the way, I had an instrument because in 7th grade we were issued instruments. Okay, and that's something that we have dropped the ball on. So we need to get back to that. And so, if you're watching now, you need to make sure we get back to that. But for me, that was it. That was the game changer. I really cut my teeth in Houston musically because I had gone there to go to college at Texas Southern University, historically black college, and it was a workshop for me. I wrote a lot and arranged music, and I have a Grammy now as a songwriter, and all that really started at this club called Cody's in Houston. And that was where, we would every week people would come from all over because it was the early 80s, the oil boom in Houston. people from all over the country and all over the world were living and working out of Houston. So a lot of those folks heard us play, and that was the beginning. That's why I really got started. Bob James is the guy really who discovered me. I was playing in Houston at Cody's, and we had an opportunity to open a concert for Bob James. And I didn't put any eggs in that basket. You know, I'm like, whatever. If I meet him, great. If not, you know, I'm still a fan. Sure enough, I met him. He heard my band. He apparently was impressed, you know, because I got a call from his manager the next day. And he's like, okay, can you go to New York next week, you know, because Bob James wants you to play on his record. And I'm like, really? And I said, I can probably make that happen, you know. So that was a big thing. And from there, he got me signed to Columbia at the time, produced my first 3 records. Yeah, I've toured with him all over the world, you know, Japan, all these places I'd never been, you know, all over Europe. And yeah, he was and still is a big part of my life. We actually did a collaboration record together called Joined at the Hip. And so that was kind of a sort of, you know, we say cumplir in Spanish. That was the fulfillment, you know, of our relationship, you know.
You don't know that I'm there, so don't ever wonder. I know, I hope you know. Should it not realize he's the highest of the high? You're the highest, yes you are. And if you don't know, then I'll say it. Take it out, break it down, break it down.
I recently released a CD called, and CD, now you say CD, whatever, you know, if you downloaded it, whatever it is, it's called Romance Language. And it is actually a reimagining of a very famous record called John Coltrane, Johnny Hartman Ballads. We also added some other songs. But it's a precious project for many reasons, mainly because it features my brother Kevin, who is amazing. And as well, it features my band, you know, my touring band. It's something that I had to kind of really suck it in and do because it's such a famous record. You know, people are like, hey, you don't touch that, you know. I don't think Coltrane would have thought that. I think he would have said, oh man, you know, do your thing, you know. And so we are very happy with it, and people like it. It's very romantic. Well, I'll say that collaborating with my 83-year-old uncle, Uncle Peanuts, is always a joy. And he was very instrumental in me starting out and playing the saxophone. You know, my father used to tell me, you know, I have a brother who plays the saxophone, and when I first heard him, it just blew me away. And he's been playing for 70 years, so. And he's an amazing singer, and so I think that's probably my favorite.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome my very special guest, Kevin Whalum, my brother Kevin Whalum. I'm gonna get him to help me out, and we're gonna sing a little bit about Memphis. It go a little something like this. Do you feel me? Do you feel me? Do you feel me? I wonder. Do you feel me? Hey, Lord. Hey, do you feel me?
my name is Kevin Whalum, and I am the brother of the horn player named Kirk, but I'm a vocalist, recording artist in my own right. I have a couple of CDs out, Timetable, which I self-produced, about 10 years ago as my debut record. And I've got my latest record, which was produced by George Duke, and it's called One Life to Love. You can find both of those on on iTunes and at cdbaby.com. Kirk and I did a tribute. Our latest project is a collaboration of this John Coltrane, Johnny Hartman romance language is what we call it, but they did a ballad record in 1963. And so we've done a tribute to that. After this trip to Africa this year, we're going to Ghana in July. But after that trip, I'll be busy in the studio working on my next couple of records. And I won't give away exactly what style they'll be, but they're going to be very accessible. Your head will nod, and you will, let's say, organic sound is kind of where I'm headed with that. So hopefully people accept my artistic direction on that and have a good time with it as
You can go to KirkWhalum.com. You can hit me on Facebook, /Kirk Whalum. You can tweet me at Kirk Whalum. It's all Kirk Whalum. And hook up with me. We always let you know where we're playing, what we're up to. I'm Kirk Whalum, and I'm so grateful that you're watching this channel because all the great music is right here. But I'm glad to be a part of it today, and I'm glad you're a part of what we're doing. So let's stay together, as Al Green would say, and come visit me in Memphis at the Stax Museum of American Soul Music, or just come see us, all right? God bless you.